You ever buy a house so busted, so haunted by bad memories and peeling paint, that even your hope felt embarrassed to show up? Yeah, that was me, Elias Brennan, standing on the porch of what I call my last chance, turning a key in a lock that wasn't even latched. And you want to hear the kicker? The damn door swung right open before I could even finish turning. Welcome home, right? My heart about dropped out of my chest. You think you're alone, but you hear dishes clanking, a woman's voice, the crackle of a fire nobody lit. Trust me, it'll make you pause. You start thinking about the money you scraped together, 45 grand, all I had left, poured into this sad, sagging farmhouse in Bradford County, because, hell, I needed something to hang my life on. My little girl's future, maybe my own. One call to the sheriff, and all these unexpected noises would disappear, but I stood there, half in, half out, thinking, what if I just looked? Let me back up a sec. Sometimes you gotta know how far you've fallen to appreciate the climb. I'd driven 4 hours from Pittsburgh rehearsing every New Beginnings pep talk, telling myself this rundown place was going to be a workshop, a garden, a patch of hope for my daughter Willa and me, after 2 years of nothing but loss. My wife gone in a car wreck, my job gone when the company folded, insurance money spent. This farmhouse was it, the one Hail Mary pass I had left. So I push that door open, and everything inside goes dead silent. My nerves jump. I'm standing there ready for God knows what, probably raccoons, maybe squatters. Instead, out comes this young woman from the kitchen, dark skin catching the dusty afternoon sun, maybe mid-20s, hair tied back, eyes locked on me. She doesn't look scared the way I expect, more like she's bracing for a fight she's already lost a dozen times. Then another girl, a bit younger, steps out behind her, same eyes, same look. Sisters, you could tell right off. I look past them. Kitchen's cleaner than when I first saw it. With stove going, floor swept, and through the window, I spot neat rows of dark earth someone's been tending. For a second, I wonder if I'm the trespasser. The older one breaks the silence. You're the new owner. Not even a question, just a fact. I nod, and there's this thick moment where we're all waiting for the other shoe to drop. My name's Vera Sinclair, she says. This is my sister, Karen. We've been staying here. We know you could call the police. Just give us a chance to explain. I should have said no. Every voice in my head screamed it. But something about the way Vera looked at me, like she'd seen the bottom and was still hanging on, made me pause. It was a look I recognized from a mirror. So I give them 5 minutes, which is more than I'd meant to, and Vera tells their story. Parents gone in an accident, no insurance, bounced from shelters, finally landing here because someone online keeps track of abandoned houses you can squat in without hurting anybody. She says they fixed the door, patched up the stove, planted vegetables so they wouldn't have to steal. 5 weeks living like ghosts, hoping nobody would notice before they figured out where to go next. I'm looking out the sun going down over my sorry fields, listening, and all I can think about is my own little girl still waiting for me to build something out of nothing. And here are these two, making more of a home in 5 weeks than I had in my head in 5 months. Smart move would be to call the law, wipe the slate, but like I said, sometimes what makes sense on paper ain't what keeps you human. So I say, 2 weeks. You help me fix this place up, split the work, and then we'll see. But nobody can know you're here. I got a daughter. If I find out you're lying, deal's off. Karen looks at me like she wants to spit, but Vera just nods, sticks out her hand, and her palms rough with work. We shake on it, strangest partnership I ever made. That first weekend, I pull up at dawn with borrowed tools, nerves jangling so hard I can't hardly keep my hands steady. The house feels different already, smoke from the stove, shapes in the window. Vera's there, flour on her hands, says coffee's on. Karen's on the roof. Inside, heat pushes back the cold, bread baking, 3 places set at the table. The silence is thick. Karen comes in later, hardly says a word, but you can feel her watching every move. We start with the roof. Karen tells me flat out my patch job won't hold through winter, that doing the bare minimum is just setting us all up to fail. I want to snap back, but there's a truth in her frustration, even if it stings. She says, every white guy with a savior complex I've ever met proves who he is when things get hard. Ouch, right? But I get it. She's seen too many broken promises. Later, Vera sits on the porch with me, both of us shivering, and finally I tell her about my wife, about losing everything, about Willa. She tells me about scholarships lost, dreams set aside just to keep her and Karen alive. The rest of that day, we work in a sort of quiet truce, fixing what we can, eating together, barely talking. The second weekend, I bring Willa. I put it off long as I could, but she's too smart for vague answers. She hops out of the truck, and Vera's on the porch with a smile, comes down to meet her at eye level. Karen hands Willa a little wooden box she made. No fuss, just here for your stuff. For the first time, I see a crack in Karen's wall. By afternoon, we're a team. Vera in the kitchen and garden, Karen running electrical, me handling carpentry, Willa asking 100 questions an hour, getting underfoot, but nobody seems to mind. Then a neighbor shows up, a woman in a flowered housecoat, eyes sharp as barbed wire. She looks right through me to the sisters, all polite concern, but every word's a warning. It's important to know who you're letting into your home, especially with a little one around. Yeah, that happened. After she leaves, Karen's furious. That's how it starts. First it's questions, then someone calls the cops. She's not wrong. I want to say it's my land, my call, but truth is, you can own every inch of dirt and still not feel safe. That night, after Will is asleep, I sit outside with the sisters. Why are you doing this? Karen asks. Maybe I'm just tired of being alone. I say. Maybe I want to build something again. And that's the heart of it. The house keeps changing, week by week. We patch, sand, rewire. Vera keeps a ledger on every penny. Karen learns carpentry from me faster than most apprentices. But money's tight, and then Vera tells me her headaches are getting worse. No insurance, no doctor, just pushing through with over-the-counter meds. It scares me, seeing that kind of weight on someone's face. I promise to look into help, and for once, she lets herself lean on me. We finish the electrical, turn on real lights for the first time, and celebrate with cheap wine and Willa drinking apple juice out of a jam jar. I look around and realize I've started thinking of us all as a family. Not the one I was born with, not the one I lost, but something new. Of course, the world doesn't let you settle in quietly. Rumors start, neighbors whispering, questions about who's living with me, if I'm fit to raise Willa. Then, one morning, there's a letter taped to the door, code enforcement, violations, threats of fines, and condemnation. We know who reported us, and Karen is ready to pack up and run. But this time I stand firm. When not hiding, I tell her. We do it the right way. Vera comes up with the idea for a town meeting. Invite everyone, show the work we've done, prove we're not hiding anything. It's terrifying. The inspector shows up, neighbors crowd the living room. I lay it out. Our deal, the repairs, the mistakes, the effort to make it right. Vera tells her story, honest and bare. Some neighbors soften. The retired electrician offers to check our work. Another helps with permits. Not everyone's happy, but the worst hostility breaks. Winter hits, but the farmhouse is ready. Vera's garden produces so much she sells preserves at the market. Karen signs up for her GED, apprentices in electrical work. Willa makes birdhouses in my new barn workshop. The four of us turn that house into something real. Curtains on the windows, warmth in every room, photos on the walls. Yeah, it finally feels like home. But peace never lasts. One day, Karen's ex shows up, bad news in a leather jacket, demanding money, threatening to tell the cops she stole from him. I want to smash his face in, but instead I call Deputy Hayes, the same guy from the town meeting. We tell him everything, threats, harassment, fake evidence. The deputy makes it clear. Any more trouble, the ex is the one going to jail. Afterward, Karen asked me why I risked so much for her. Because that's what family does, I say. Because I'm tired of bullies getting away with it. Spring comes fast. Preserve business booming. Karen aces her GED, starts college classes. My workshop's full of projects. Will is happy. We're not just surviving anymore. We're building. And then Vera says it. Let's put all our names on the deed. Make it official. For once, I'm speechless. So here we are, sitting on the porch, lemonade in hand, sun setting over a house we saved together. Willa asks if this is our real home now. I lift her up and say, yeah, this is home. because we built it together. And it hits me, family isn't just blood or paperwork. It's who stands with you when walking away would be easier. You know what I mean? Life doesn't tie itself up in bows. You get knocked down, you let others help you up, you try again. So, what would you do if it was your doors swinging open, your second chance staring you in the face? Would you risk everything for people you barely knew, or keep your walls up and hope for the best? Go ahead, drop a comment, argue, debate, tell me I'm crazy or tell me I'm right. Just remember, at the end of the day, the thing that lasts isn't the wood or the nails or the title to the land. It's the family you build when you finally let someone else in. That's what makes a home.